last weekend against Kingston Rovers, which took them into the top four, but it's a mighty challenge to play Warrington in the sort of mood that they are in just at the moment. It's a warm and sultry night. Josh Charnley, the man who's returned from rugby union, scored his 200th career try against Wigan last weekend. And it's a real tremendous record that he has since he's come back. 14 tries in 11 consecutive appearances since returning to the game. Right, Stefan Ratchford is about to get this one underway. Pitch is in magnificent order, I must say, here at the Halliwell-Jones Stadium in Warrington tonight. And Ben Taylor blows the whistle, and here we go. Ratchford with the high kick to the right-hand side. It'll be very interesting to see how some of these new faces shape up in the Castleford Tigers side tonight. But that's one of the older heads, Joe Wardle. But he's in his first season, of course, down at the Jungle. And this fellow, Grant Millington, will never, ever take a backward step.
He's Mr. Reliable, isn't he? And the likes of him and Jesse Lefeo certainly have to bring their A grade game here. And the man behind the play of the ball, Adam Milner, who's been playing a lot of his rugby at loose forward. He's in the number 9 jersey where he started as a youngster, and a lot of pressure on him as well.
It's Matt Cook now, trying to get the Tigers over the halfway line, which he just about does at the end of the opening set of 6. This is the final tackle coming up here. And Jake Truman with a kick that bounces and bobbles all the way, almost beyond Stefan Ratchford. The chase was led by young Callum Turner, but he was beaten quite convincingly, though he did recover well then to get a hand on Ratchford and help to bring him down. Here now is Lynham for the Warrington Wolves. That's good defence from Castleford. That's enthusiastic stuff.
It's great defence. Rugby League's one of those sports where attitude can be more important than ability. You know, the Warrington side on paper probably have more ability and should win this game with the players missing for the Tigers. But that extra enthusiasm we saw in defence just might be what the Castleford side need here. Be an amazing victory should they pull it off. They've certainly now given themselves a chance by that, showing that great commitment from the start.
36-year-old Ben Westwood, ever present so far, played the ball to the former Castleford hooker Darryl Clark. He gets it away to his captain Chris Hill. And Warrington now have reached tackle number 5. They too haven't got over the halfway line really. They will here on the kick of Tyrone Roberts. This goes high and there's a real chase on here. Well played. But a good chase nonetheless with Atkins and Charnley. But that will do Callum Turner no harm whatsoever.
Well, that's what you want. Your first touch of the ball, you want to make sure that you pouch it. And I looked at him on the pitch side before, Eddie. He's quite a big, well-built youngster as well. He won't shirk anything. People that you talk to at that Cas Club say he's a real talent as well. The former Lock Lane amateur.
Solid defence from Darryl Clark, halting the run of Jesse Lefeo, who just grimaced a bit there as he got to his feet. And Milner at dummy half, and from dummy half, a kick into the corner here, which he hopes will stay in the in-goal area, but it skips away on the dry and solid surface, and it's a 20-metre restart.
Just a little bit too strong there from Adam Milner. He's got big shoes to fill. Paul McShane is at the heartbeat for this Castleford Tigers side. Both sides look like they're going to focus on the work that they're doing with the ball. Complete height. In conditions like tonight, when it's warm and humid, you want to make sure you've got hold of the ball. You're making the most of when it's your time to attack, and when you're in defence, you've got energy left. There's Paul McShane, Luke Gale, Junior Moores, one or two of the injured players. Good work from Warrington.
Yes, Cooper got the ball away. Clark found Westwood. Westwood found Roberts. Here now is Atkins. He's gone through 2, he's gone through 3, but he loses the ball, and Castleford have it back. Jake Truman dropping on it gratefully. Now then, they'll begin this set right on halfway, so here's an opportunity for them. Jesse Lefeo.
Well, Ryan Atkins just losing the ball. Maybe a hand in there from Jake Truman, but a loose carry. It was deemed by the referee. Good carry here from Matt Cook, Mr. Reliable.
Milner gets the ball away to Millington. Millington is halted by Jack Hughes. Down he goes with help from Ben Westwood. Milner once again. They're 20 metres out, the Tigers. Here's Jesse Lefeo. Enthusiastic challenge by Westwood, but he got the ball away just the same. Here is Truman, who changes direction quite quickly and quite brilliantly, actually, and almost got away. Here is Milner again. It's now with Cook, and Matt Cook. Livette was to him. Important challenge from him and Brown. A little dab from McMeekin. He's chasing it himself. It's a wonderful try. It's a wonderful try from Mike McMeekin. How about that for skill from a second row forward? The man who's been ever present this year. And he got a try in 2016 at the Magic event against Warrington, which the Castleford Tigers won. Well, he's given them an early lead here. They're 4-0 up inside the first 5 minutes.
Well, they stripped it back at the beginning of the year, Warrington, and didn't go for the offloads and play that brand of rugby that we're used to. And the mistake there from Ryan Atkins. And look, nothing on here from Mike McMeekin. He's the one who just kicks the ball through. You can see a lot of talk around the ruck area from the Warrington players. They weren't expecting the big England international to come up with that play, and that certainly pleases the coach, Darryl Powell.
He's nutmegged him, hasn't he? I mean, it's very difficult to get the ball past your opposing players. So often we see the ball hit the legs of the defending side and ricochet forward. But he's put the ball between the legs, and I don't think he could believe, could he, the dream result he got. So often that ball's kicked too hard and it rolls over the end line too quickly, but on that occasion, he had the pace to get to it. And what a great start, 6-0 up, just inside 6 minutes.
Callum Turner with the goal-kicking responsibilities, and Callum Turner, the only man in the Castleford colours tonight who has kicked a goal now this season. Incredible.
Well, that's a great start from Castleford Tigers. Normally Darryl Powell loads up that bench, puts players like Grant Millington, leaves him on the bench, lets the first 20 minutes or so unfold. I think by making his stance and putting players like Millington in from the start, he realises that a good start is very, very important for this side. Get on the front foot and keep going.
Well, Warrington certainly will have come into this match fancying their chances of completing a Super League double over Castleford, just as they did in 2016 when they topped the table. Darryl Powell, he was also Coach of the Year in 2014. He said in the pre-match interview, didn't he, well, you expect to get injuries from time to time. It's part and parcel of the game, and it is what it is.
Eddie, these are exciting games.
6-0.
These are exciting games as a player. You're coming in to the Lions' den or the Wolves' den. They're on this tremendous run. They're on a real high, coming off the back of that wonderful performance against Wigan last week. You've got a scratch side, a few unfamiliar names, and led by people like Mike McMeekin. For him to be and consider himself world-class, he needs to play well in these big games. And that's a good start for him and his side.
Well, the ref's corset's back in place. We're all right, Eddie, we're ready to go.
Yeah, I think he's had a few batteries recharged, hasn't he? And here we go. They'll all blame the fact that he can't be heard on the telly tonight, but it's not that. They need to, Stuart, be in communication with each other, touch judges and referees.
Absolutely, it's a crucial part of the game for the officials to be able to talk, and the information they get from the sideline helps the man in the middle.
So communications restored, and Warrington trailing 6-0, and here's the try scorer, Mike McMeekin. This is Milner now from dummy half. He knows they're offside, and he's made the break, and he's got support with him as well. This is Milner with a great run, and Ratchford comes out and claws him down. Well, Quentin Lalotonga guy was there on his inside. He couldn't get the ball away to him. What a dream start to his Castleford and Super League career that would have been. As it is, it's Castleford on the front foot, and Jake Truman gets the kick away. Was that played up by Warrington? Is it 6 to go? The referee hasn't said anything yet, so there's another dab into the in-goal area. Horrible bounce again, and a kick has come up trumps, and it's Callum Turner. It's Callum Turner for Castleford, and this is given without reference upstairs. What a start this is for the Castleford Tigers. Those supporters travelled more in hope, I think, than expectation, but their team's 10-0 up inside the opening 7 minutes. It's unbelievable.
Wow, what a start to this game for Castleford Tigers. Here's the earlier break here. Adam Milner, very familiar to that hook and roll. The number 9 is where he learned his trade. He resisted the temptation to pass it on to QLT, took the tackle, and this is fortune without a doubt, but you make your own luck in rugby league. The ball is kept alive. It's another hit and hope kick, but you've got to be in the right place at the right time to pick it up. And young Callum Turner, in only his second game, gets the try.
Well, a good kick from the other youngster, Jake Truman. He has 2 cracks in it. It bounces back for Callum Turner, and hasn't he shown up well? Caught a couple of high kicks. He's kicked the first conversion before. Here goes with his second attempt.
And he won't miss with that one. Callum Turner, he's only played twice this season. Got a try against Hull 2 weeks ago on his debut. Here he is again.
Well, about a quarter of the tries in the Super League have a kick in them, but for the Tigers, that's up to 40%. No team rely more on kicks for tries than the Tigers, and you've seen the ability to kick the ball accurately and dangerously has set up the first 2 tries and given them a dream start to what will be a brilliant victory here, should they hold on to this lead.
Hull FC are leading 6-0 against Salford. Meanwhile, Huddersfield are beating Leeds at Headingley. Latest scores from the other games that are taking place tonight. Keep a look at the bottom right of your screen. And just another word about Callum Turner. He says he bases his game on Luke Dawn. That's not a bad man to take a leaf out of somebody's book from.
No, it's not, and he's certainly showing up well. You know, all the action, they've got all the energy, Cass. They're carrying the ball, they're running as hard as they can.
Well, they've given away a forward pass here.
Yeah. Trying to get over the advantage line, Eddie. They know that they've rattled Warrington here. Warrington are getting off the line, trying to get into the face like some Matt Cook. He's getting over the advantage line, hitting the ball flat. And the referee, Ben Thaler, says that's forward.
Well, I think probably the call came from the sideline.
It did. Touchage on the far side, called it.
It looked very harsh from up here anyway.
Yeah, he was right in line with it, stopped immediately.
Wait there, guys, wait there!
Oh.
Okay, Kevin.
Well, that's questionable that it was forward, but anyway, Warrington will not be complaining. Here is Bryson Goodwin. First time they had a chance to attack the Castleford line. Good tackle by Alex Foster. There's Lynham then to Clark. He drops the ball off to Harvey Levette. What a start he has made as well to... Well, you could say... Oh, he's lost the ball. The ball has come out. Knock on. Knock on. I've cursed him. I have cursed him.
Well, they're not getting through the sets. Warrington, all the ball, all the possession seems to be with his Cass side. And again, look, they're hunting in defence. Got to make sure he's better.
Maybe when you think about that, that is the balance of the scales of justice have been straightened up there. Sorry, Phil, I was just going to say, Levette, wonderful start to his real first big chance of first-team football.
Yeah, it is. He's got, I'm sure, a massive future ahead of him. I've said to you before, Eddie, it's very hard to beat your best 2 weeks in a row, and I think we're seeing that with Warrington. They were outstanding last week against Wigan, but here for 10 minutes, they've been a little flat, and they've come up with a couple of mistakes. Obviously, they bounced the ball for the 2 tries. There's not a lot you could do about that, but they certainly haven't looked to control possession well enough, and they've struggled as well here. That's the first time we've seen them bend their backs and drive the Tigers back towards their own line.
And needless to say, it was Chris Hill, the captain, leading the way. He's such an influential figure in defence for the Warrington Wolves. I don't think people watching at home and the supporters of this game realise just how much a Challenge Cup quarter-final and a win by 23 points to 0 against Wigan takes out of any side.
Well, I think it took out of both sides. You saw Wigan look flat as well. I think both of those teams put a massive effort in last week, and it was an emotional and a physical effort for the Warrington side, who just look a little flat to me.
That's a good offload from Charnley to Clark. He looked to spread it wide to Atkins. He took the responsibility on himself against his former teammates. Shenton there got him down. This is Ryan Atkins with his standing square. Castleford, yes they were. Tackle count continues. That's Roberts who helps it on to Chris Hill. He gets away from Matt Cook fairly easily, but there are 2 reinforcements behind him, fortunately, Millington and Lefeo. This is Clark again, and he gives it to Westwood, and Westwood then will find Brown, and Brown will find Raxford. Raxford tries to straighten it up, but good defence once more from Castleford. 20 metres out, and Warrington on the last tackle. So the kick here from Brown will go high to that right-hand side. It's palmed down, and Ryan Atkins, and they're in with Tyrone Roberts. Just what they needed, Warrington, to steady the ship. And Tyrone Roberts, in the first year of a 3-year deal here, after his finest game with Warrington colours last week, gets his 2nd try of the Super League season.
Well, you know this Warrington side have got stars across the board. Kevin Brown sets up for this kick, goes across, it's knocked back from Charnley, and all of a sudden Tyrone Roberts puts himself where the action is. Ryan Atkins knows that he's got support, And when this ball goes up, he's quite content knocking it back to his teammate. And it's just a simple 2-on-1 with the youngster at the back, Jake Truman. It's a towering bomb though, isn't it?
Well, it's the third try of the game, and it's the third try off a kick. It shows how important kick pressure will become the more this game goes on. Players like Kevin Brown, Jake Truman, if they're given the time and space, can place this ball where they want. I've no doubt that that has given the Warrington Wolves a huge sigh of relief. They'll get together, take a deep breath and say, right, let's start again now, 0-0.
But it's 12-4 to Castleford on the scoreboard. I know what you're saying, Barry, but they're still behind at the minute. And Harvey Levett here to try and add to the extras. And Tyrone Roberts, man signed from the Gold Coast at the end of last year, getting a very important try for Warrington. Here is Levett now. He's not a bad kicker, but that one is just the wrong side of the upright. Gave it a real chance though, didn't he?
Well, we're going to see the Warrington Wolves here now to see what they've got. You see the try, it has been kicking flat for all the supporters in this ground in the first 12 minutes. Ball tipped back. I'm not sure where the pass here, the final pass there to Roberts. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Tyrone Roberts scores in the corner. The Wolves were successful last week by offloading the ball against Wigan. It certainly helped them, made the game even more attractive to watch as well. I wonder whether they've still got that aspect in the game here now, whether there's a more conservative phase coming from them.
Warrington in possession with Chris Hill. Clark behind him at dummy half. Here is Westwood.
Well, Castleford certainly aimed up in the opening 14 minutes of this game. The way that they've played, the way they've defended, their attitude to attack. It's now what's left in between the ears. They're still confident. We're always going to start well with so many players messing. The young players that have come into the side have given that much energy that we've talked about. But can they keep it up now, just with that 8-point lead?
Quarter of an hour gone. Looks like we might be in for a points fest tonight. Here's Brown again. He gives it to Levett. Millington just does enough before Lefeo finishes him off on the deck. Here is Roberts again. This is high, long and deep. Hitchcox allows it to bounce. Not a bad kick as it turns out though. Has to run it back from his own line. Gets as far as Hughes and Atkins.
And that was a better set from Warrington. They've scored those points. They've settled into the game. If the scoreboard would have remained 12-0 and the longer the scoreboard would have remained 12-0, Warrington may have been tempted to start to panic a little bit, drift away from the game plan that they set out into this game for. They can settle down now and just get into the sets.
But as you rightly said, Barry, the mindset is for Warrington, it's 0-0.
Correct.
Here is Milner. Back it goes to Jake Truman. That's a measured kick right down the middle of the field. That's a good kick too. And Charnley will pick it up, it having settled on the turf. Oof, big collision. And then he appeals for a smack in the face from Matt Cook.
Well, the game is basic, Eddie. You get to your kick, you kick it down the field. They get good position, but then the next thing that they do, they can't come up with a high shot. It's just a little clip from Matt Cook, just on the wing of Josh Charnley.
First penalty of the game after almost 16 minutes. Takes Warrington almost up to halfway. Atkins takes the responsibility on himself to take it forward another 10 metres, and that's what he manages to do. Clark, a dummy half, finds Roberts, the try scorer.
And that's a more confident Tyrone Roberts there, skipping and taking on the defenders. I don't think we've seen a lot of that in the first half of the season. I'm sure his performance last week has boosted his confidence. We all love to have some self-belief, and I think his has risen in the last 7 days.
Hill now for Warrington. Scrappy pass, but it found Ratchford. They're going to capitalise here. Ratchford dumps the ball down. Well, they've got to try in the field. I think a lip read Ben Thaler, but they want it all to be checked out as to how the ball eventually found itself in the arms of Ratchford. But it looks like Warrington have responded here with their second try, Stuart.
It does. It looked live that his momentum took him over the line. So really he's free to do what he likes with his arm as long as his momentum continues to move forward. There's no doubt he maintains possession, and you can see he ends up over the line anyway. Not an issue with that. Even though the ball-carrying arm has touched the ground on the first part of the tackle, his momentum takes him over the line. He doesn't propel himself over.
The arm comes up though.
That's okay, as long as his momentum is going forward, he can do what he likes with the ball. It's when his momentum stops, he then can't promote it.
He's having another look at it, is Phil Bentham. Yes, it does appear that the momentum takes him home. Decisions on its way then. Try it is.
There isn't a better player in Warrington colours that you would like that ball to go into his hands. Broken field, instinctive running, his agility, his ability to evade defenders. Josh Charnley couldn't evade that tackle. That gave them the march upfield. A nice sweeping play, a little bit messy, a show and go, but again, great finish by the fullback.
Well, Alex Foster does a remarkable job playing centre, and I don't think that's his natural position. He's got number 17. He's outnumbered and outpaced there. He's disappointed with the fact that Stephen Ratchford's gone through him, but he'll do that several times this season. You know, to get to the grand final, you probably need a team who've got the best fullback, and at the moment there's a three-way competition between Stephen Ratchford, Ben Barber and Sam Tompkins. It's no surprise that those three teams are the top three in this competition.
And Stephen Ratchford last missed a game for Warrington fully 12 months ago. Now Livett missed with the first, and he's missed with the second. He's pulled that one in front of the post this time. So it's 2 tries apiece, but it's the goal kicking of young Callum Turner that separates the two teams.
Well, he's always influential, isn't he, Stephen Ratchford? A bit of luck in this try as well, but the skill that he's got to evade players, get around Foster, then step the fullback and go up for the try. That's what you've got. You've got a very dangerous player. Anytime he gets his hands on the ball, he's looking for a weakness in the defensive line. And he has been sheer class this year.
Well, don't forget, we have a third live match for you on Sky Sports this weekend from the Betfred Super League. We're in Perpignan tomorrow. The Catalan Dragons will take on Widnes. 5 o'clock start in the south of France, and the match is live on Sky Sports Arena via your red button. So press the red button on your handset and it'll come up. It'll come up for you. Catalan Widnes, big game for Widnes, particularly the wrong end of the table.
They've lifted the physicality, Castleford Tigers now. Good line speed, good contact. They're right on the line at the minute.
That's 3 tackles gone this set. And Clark will try and get them going down the right-hand side. That's a good tackle on Jack Hughes.
That's
Those are
4 physical tackles.
4 best tackles you'll see in a match. In fact, it was almost a knock-on there, but Chris Hill takes his check and charge and keeps the ball alive.
And then Ratchford spreads it wide to Bryson Goodwin. And Bryson Goodwin is dealt with in the end by QLT and Alex Foster. Last one coming up here for Warrington. Brown again with a high kick. Turner's underneath it. It's pretty safe so far.
Well, that was a physical set from
He
lost the ball here.
Free play. Well, this is the first knock-on with a knock-ons both ways.
Well, very physical in that last set. And speaking of physical, what about that from the shot? Benny Westwood down below, Tyrone Roberts over the top, loses possession, the youngster. He's been safe as houses in this game. See the frustration in himself. Well, they really put the shoulders into the Warrington forwards in that last set.
That's a simple mistake. We shouldn't be too harsh on Callum Turner there. The longer you play at this level, the more you understand the habits of the players you're playing against. He just simply didn't expect that low tackle, got underneath the ball and dislodged it.
So great chance for Warrington then. Roberts to Hill, gets the ball away to Atkins. Ratchford was hunting another opportunity down the right-hand side. No, he's had a hand in at the play the ball, the Castleford man, penalty.
It looked like he lost that ball then as well.
Back onto the ball.
The referee saying that the second effort going back onto the ball, that's what the penalty's awarded for.
This is Hill, here, Chris Hill again now. And he gets very close with that first run.
He's had 4 hit-ups, Eddie, in the last minute, Chris Hill.
That's a try. That's a try from Darrell Clark. It was an absolute shambles at the play of the ball. The Castleford man couldn't get out of the way. He was impeding both the Warrington man and his own defenders.
I agree, there's no problem with this.
But if we do have an obstruction by Castleford, the first penalty...
It's a good charge from Chris Hill. Darrell Clark picks the ball up, there's men on the floor. Stopped it over the try line.
But it's Phil Bentham's decision, Stuart. What are they looking for here?
Well, he's looking to see whether there's any interference or block on a Castleford player going through. Well, the play of the ball's a mess, but you know everybody's on side and he can play on from that. Chris Hill hasn't obstructed anybody. Clark's just picked the ball up from the back.
It's not a correct play of the ball.
Well,
He didn't really gather his feet.
They can only look at the point where the ball comes out. There's interference in the back of the ruck, but there's an advantage there to Warrington, and Clark has gone over and scored, so this will be awarded.
No, I know they can't look at the play of the ball, but it was an incorrect play of the ball.
Why would you have a video ref if you can't look at the play of the ball? I mean,
it's level pegging at 12 apiece. We're midway through the first half.
Well, Darrell Clark, the man who made his name at Castleford, scores the try against his former team,
and what's more, it's an important try too. It's the 60th try of Darrell Clark's career.
Well, Callum Turner, he makes the mistake, and then there's a penalty awarded here for Ryan Atkins, and he goes to the left-hand side of the play of the ball. It's a quick play of the ball from Chris Hill. He leaves a defender on the floor, and you can see that they've got to make sure they do a better job when you're playing against someone like Darrell Clark. You know what he's thinking. If there's men on the floor, he's going to go.
He's way too high there. Jesse Senna-Lefeo, his coach will have told him, get under the ball, get low down and try and prevent plays like that. He'd be disappointed with that.
Levert is not disappointed with that. His first successful kick out of 3, 14 points to 12. You're right, Phil, there's anomalies here.
There are, but I mean, one thing is important is the fact that Chris Hill's been outstanding in the opening 20 minutes. You know, last week against Wigan, they kept him on the field for about 10 minutes than they normally have done, longer than they normally have this season. He's disappointed with that decision, and you can understand why, really. And the defence to their own try line. But keeping Chris Hill on the field for as long as you possibly can, I'm sure it's something that Warrington will aim to do more often this year, because he certainly is one of the best players that they've got, and so influential on the outcome of their attack and defence.
Eddie, can I give you his stats from last week? It was 35 tackles, no misses, 182 metres off 23 carries. That's exceptional, that from the front row. And Nerdy goals again.
Do you ever wonder, though, why do teams take off the best players? Can you leave them on the field for longer? If he can play for 65, could he play for 70? It's an interesting experiment that coaches maybe want to do sometime.
But sometimes, Phil, give him a 10-minute breather and let him get him back on and get back into the game.
Well, Warrington are certainly back into the game now. They're up to the swing of things, and Castleford are being starved of possession. From 12-0 ahead to 14-12 down.
Ready, boys, please, 5. Wait,
Brown is waiting at dummy half. He goes to Tyrone Roberts. He's just outside the 40. Doesn't matter anyway. He's gone down the middle.
Play on. Good input, boys.
Here comes Greg Minikin now.
And now Warrington seem to be finishing the sets on their terms. The right men are getting the ball on the final plays, like to Tyrone Roberts and Kevin Brown. And defensively, they're jamming in, they're hitting hard, they're working as a unit.
McBeacon now for Castleford. And the word about the try from Darrell Clark, 60th of his career. 37 of them came in 95 games for Castleford, 2011 to 2014. Nathan Massey is on. Sub in the last 3 games also. There's Truman, left-footed, high. Chase is enthusiastic. Ratchford claims it, but there was somebody taken out off the ball. It's a penalty to Warrington.
There's an escort, was there? Well, the players were chasing.
Castleford, I beg your pardon. Penalty to Castleford.
Josh Charlie involved. You see he's obstructing the path of Jai Hitchcock's.
Castleford really make their kicks count. Okay, they didn't get any points from that. They got another possession close to opponent's line. They work hard, don't they, to challenge and contest kicks in the air. And in this situation here, they're in a brilliant attacking position.
With Nathan Massey.
Stand, Chris, went in.
Adam Milner is a dummy half. Matt Cook again.
2, movement, Joe!
discovered today's Warrington form, didn't we?
Go.
Here is QLT. What a good ball! Alex Foster. Alex Foster drops the ball and drops 4 points down the grid.
How has he dropped that ball? Beautiful pass from QLT.
I think he was the best player at Magic Weekend as well. He's been in exceptional form. Hits a very good line. Kevin Brown jams in the space. He's there. Got to take them balls.
That's what they call a gimme, that. Darryl Powell knows opportunities like that won't come that easy.
Wow.
They made it look easy. That's what they've got to convince themselves. Don't panic. Work as hard as we can in defence. We're trying to contain the Warrington's second line of attack here now with Philbin on the field.
If there's a more effective substitute this year than Philbin, maybe Ben Murdoch-Masilla as well. But if there's a more effective substitute this year than Joe Philbin, I've yet to see him. Brown to Goodwin. He really plays at 100 mile an hour when he comes on, Philbin. Here's Cooper. That's a solid enough run from him and a great offload as well. He's found Darryl Clark. Last one here for Castleford. Ratchford and Roberts stabs it through into the in-goal area. And did Atkins get a touch on that? I think maybe he did.
I've got a 20-metre restart. Can we just check?
I think video referee Phil Bentham can have 2 quick looks at this, Stuart.
Yeah, he's got 2 looks to confirm the referee's decision, or otherwise no need to hang around. He wants concrete proof. I think that you see the last touch is a knock on there by Ryan Atkins. Castleford player perhaps touched it first, but it was going backwards, so it's play on. And then we have the knock on there from Ryan Atkins. So 20-metre restart will be the decision the referee came up with, and it will be confirmed.
So there they are, they're about to restart. Castleford with Truman. Well, he's game, isn't he?
Jack, we're here. Go.
Certainly is, Eddie. They need some game players here now.
Oh, lucky. They got away with it. Oh, forward.
They didn't get away with it.
Forward is the call.
So that's the second time that they've made a mistake trying to clear the line. In the middle part of the field, you can see a bit of panic there set in from Greg Minikin, trying to pass the ball to Alex Foster. Maybe he just needs to get down here, acknowledges that he's made the mistake to his teammates. Can't keep defending down here. They are a good side. Castleford, we're seeing how dangerous they are when they're up near Warrington's line. But they can't keep turning the ball over so cheaply and not making Warrington work hard for it.
Go. Quinn, think of that, mate.
Ratchford now for Warrington.
One movement.
The Alex Foster dropsy at one end. That's 6 points gone. Could be a big turnaround here. Here he comes now, Joe Philbin.
Met solidly by Mitch Clark. Good contact there.
Roberts gets the pass away to Philbin again. Devil of a job to put him down. Eventually they do.
He's a powerhouse, isn't he?
Cooper and Brown. Here's Roberts. Good job that Shenton was there. The ball goes free, but it's play on. It's Darryl Clark. It's lost now by Cooper. Well, QLT will try and work the ball away.
He comes up with the ball, but everyone is an option in a Warrington jersey. They reload, they get behind the man who's got the ball. They made themselves available. Again, there's some panic here from Castleford, offloading the ball and really panicking every time that they go into collision and contact.
Away goes Minikin again.
Well, that's Darryl Clark, then Mike Cooper loses the ball. QLT picks it up. And there's a penalty here to Castleford. And Ben Murdoch-Masilla just on to the field.
So that will relieve the pressure for Castleford. There's a ding-dong battle going on at Headingley, 12 all. Rhinos and the Giants. Other matches you've seen, one-way traffic at Hull FC. And Saints are ahead as well, the league leaders. That's Mitch Clark on debut in Super League for Castleford rather. Mitch Clark been out on loan at Featherstone all week. Got a penalty here.
Will they take 2 points here, or will they run the ball?
Go.
2 points behind, they're going to run it, Eddie.
They are with Nathan Massey. 20 metres away. On the back of that second penalty, this is Milner, here is Cook. Now it's with Truman, he gets a short ball away. Good work by Wardle, he held on to it. Here's Mitch Clark. Former junior Kiwi is Mitch Clark. Adam Milner. Good ball to McMeekin again, well watched by Brown, all the way. QLT at dummy half this time. Massey once more. It's a solid Warrington defensive line. It's been pretty good all year, the Warrington defence. Can they get through it here? Then Murdoch-Masilla out very quickly. They turn it over on the Warrington line, but it's not a bad place to turn it over, but Darryl Powell will be disappointed they didn't manage to break through.
Well, as soon as Mitch Clark catches that ball, the big man, Ben Murdoch-Masilla, just wraps him up and just smothers him. Mitch Clark, he's a strong, powerful player. He came over and played at Doncaster in 2015. Got his chance in Super League. I think he's a tough player, Eddie. He'll relish this battle.
He's a rough diamond, that's for sure. Mitch Clark, son of former Bradford and Leeds hooker Trevor Clark. He knows the game. He'll get stuck in. He'll make some mistakes, but as I say, he's a rough diamond. Castleford have made a mistake, not got back on side.
Yeah, the markers were all over the place. They were side by side, not back to back.
No discipline in defence. They've given some easy meters.
Don't forget, you can see the Rugby League Masterclass featuring Kevin Brown. It's available now on demand.
And that's the third of the big bruisers that Warrington send on. Steve Price got 3 big men who come on and try and make an impact. Sitaleka Koala there now carries it up to halfway.
And here comes Philbin again, just over the half an hour mark. 14-12, Warrington lead. Given a real fright in case you're just joining us. They were 12-0 down. But then Darryl Clark got going, and here he goes again. He's got support from Akwala. And he touches it down behind the post as Sitaleki Akwala, just off the bench. Second try of the season. He's been on a losing side for Warrington this year just once against Hull. Tongan. Big bench. Murdoch-Masilla, Akwala, Philbin.
And they've all made a big impact, haven't they, since they've come onto the bench. And that man, when he gets out from dummy half, he is a running threat, Darryl Clark. He's so quick and so talented, and he can spot a weakness in the defensive line. He goes at the line, he stands up Massey, beats Cook, steps to fullback Callum Turner, and Akwala fresh onto the field. That's a tremendous try, all made from that man, Darryl Clark.
Well, Matt Cook, he's the man that's a marker. He thinks that the play's going out wide. He thinks that the pass is going to be made by Darryl Clark, who shows it, steps back inside. And Matt Cook just clocks off for that split second. A desperate lunge from him, can't deny the latest Warrington try. Danny Orr just having a word with the players now. Fell off, 12-0 lead. What a turnaround. 18 unanswered points.
Might be 20 in a moment with Livett. He's bang in front. 20 points to 12 it is. And the Castleford crowd, who were delighted about 10-15 minutes ago, suddenly gone really quiet. The ex-hooker Darryl Clark just ripped their defence to pieces here.
Well, Warrington have shown this season that they've got some threats, some pace, some try scorers out wide. Both wingers have got over the try line successfully, but they're also dangerous in the middle of the field, and when their hooker picks it up and shoots out like that with a number 9 on his back, well, there's arguably a few more dangerous than him now with his pace. Back to the level he was at, I think, was it 2014 when he really burst onto the scene, and he really was a revelation.
He was, and that year he was Young Player of the Year and the Super League's Man of Steel. 2014, his last year in the colours of Castleford, before he came here to Warrington. Certainly back to his best. Philbin.
Well, he must love playing behind the likes of Philbin and Akwala when they get onto the field, and Jack Hughes as well, another strong carry. He's just lining up the big fellas, tipping the ball on. Here goes Ben Murdoch-Masilla. No, he doesn't. It's a dummy from Roberts.
that draws applause from the Warrington crowd, even though he was pulled down. I'd like to see a bit of flair on the terraces here. Roberts again, this time an angled crossfield kick. It's going to be very dangerous. Minikin deals with it.
It's a brilliant kick, that, isn't it? I don't think we can underestimate how important that skill is to have the accuracy to keep the ball in play, but force your opponents to pick it up on or near to their own try line.
Alex Foster goes down.
Go. 3, move.
Not a bad little run from the young full-back Callum Turner. Here goes Oliver Holmes now. One of the Castleford big guns off the bench and gets the penalty with almost his first involvement for a high shot.
Well, good carry, wasn't it? Oliver Holmes going straight and hard. Jack Hughes round the neck. Well, he takes him to ground. The referee, Ben Fairley, gives a penalty away. The previous carry was from Callum Turner all around the ruck.
Thanks, Phil.
Made a couple of mistakes earlier.
Again, be careful throwing the ball.
Important that they just get to the end, make sure they're up here, and they've certainly got a chance. That's a good shot as well.
Yes, Aquala on Nathan Massey. This is Adam Milner. He's got Clark on his shoulder. Here he goes, Mitch Clark. That's a good run from him. Certainly beaten for weight by those two, but look at the progress he's made.
Got all of him, play on, go.
This is Milner. Oh, and he just lost the bearings then. Did he just flick out to the back of the hand by mistake? Well, they're on the 30-metre line as Foster picks it up. He makes 10 metres progress. They lost a little momentum there, Castleford.
Go, play on.
Milner again. And QLT. Quentin Lala Tonga guy. Milner into centre field. Massey. Massey then to Truman. Truman goes wide and finds Turner. Nice pass. Shenton even nicer. Hitchcock's great try. Great Castleford try. Wonderful hand skills. And a side that seems to be playing with a bit of confidence despite the scoreline that was going against them. They were prepared there to throw the ball about, give themselves a chance. And Jai Hitchcock has come up with his 6th try of the season. 4 tries in his last 3 games, by the way. So that's 5 in 4 now. And Cass back in it.
What a good involvement from the substitute, Oliver Holmes. Picks up from dummy half, runs forcefully forward. I want you to watch the involvement here of the young fullback, Callum Turner. A nice slip pass. He draws in the defender. He gives the centre a 2v1 with the winger. Does everything right, the young fullback. Is a quality finish from the winger. But Shenton, as he's done all his career, catches, passes, and sets the winger free. Wonderful stuff.
They're the lines that they were running last year, and Callum Turner shows great maturity there to hold on to the pass, suck in Ryan Atkins and create that space on the edge.
As he was running, I wanted him to straighten up, but he knew where he was heading. He was heading for Ryan Atkins. He was trying to commit Ryan Atkins and just release the centre Shenton. Great stuff.
Hitchcock's got the first try of the Magic Weekend win against Leeds. And tell you what, Callum Turner can kick a goal, can't he? Back within 2 points.
Well, his kick's pretty impressive, but I think the pass to Michael Shenton, just watch this. If you went back 20 years, this pass didn't really exist in rugby league. You watch, it's a one-handed pass out to the back of the hand, and there are a few players and teams have managed to practice it, perfect it, and put points on the board as a result.
And if you're probably Ryan Atkins, you're not expecting a youngster to come up with a pass like that and deliver it under pressure and at the right time.
I don't know whether I lip-read him correctly, but didn't Darryl Powell say, wow, what a ball, Callum?
Yeah.
And it was.
Well, he definitely said Callum.
OK, Warrington restart. Here is Joe Wardle. Back within 2, Castleford. Other teams might have been completely phased by the Warrington comeback after they surrendered a 12-0 lead. But these, as I said earlier, the 2 teams that finished top of the pile in the last 2 seasons, 2 league leaders, Shield winners.
I think this game probably typifies Castleford and Warrington in the league itself. Warrington grabbing all the headlines. Everybody's impressed with what Warrington are doing. But Warrington just look over the shoulders and there are the Castleford Tigers. 2 competition points behind them and a slip up and they'll overtake them.
Truman. Yes, they have a game in hand, Castleford. Charnley easily picked that out of the air, didn't he? Just watched it all the way. Oh, has lost this. He has lost it.
Well, good defence again. They're applying pressure. The cast side, when the ball goes up in the air, they're getting numbers around the man who's carrying the ball. And the ball spills out from Josh Charnley when he's getting up to play the ball. Is there a cast hand in there? Was it Joe Wardle? Well, Josh Charnley certainly thinks there was.
He's continuing the debate with the touch judge on that far side. Won't have it that he dropped it.
Well, if Alex Foster had held on to that ball we saw earlier, the Tigers would be ahead. They've still got time to get ahead here. They've got 2 minutes or so. The 2 points behind. And with their attacking play and the passes that some of the teammates have put together, you'd fancy them maybe here in these 6 players that they're going to have a really good shot at finding that try.
Last couple of minutes of the first half. Can Castleford turn round ahead? The points being scored across the Betfred Super League tonight as you watch those scores going through the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And we're looking here at 2 sides who certainly can score tries. Turner goes down and he was clattered high by Charnley.
Well, that was an important tackle by Josh Charnley. He wedges in here. He goes in and talked about this last night, Eddie. Penalties, contact with the head, that to me is just play on.
Contact with the head.
It's
no option.
And because of the way he kicked the goal before from the conversion, Callum Turner's going to have another go here. Yeah, it's contact with the head.
There's contact with the head, but come on, he's not injured. Throughout the amount of times, no, Eddie. The amount of times that we're stopping the game and we're giving penalties away. There was a set of 6, Castleford's best defensive set, when they come up with 4 big shots. Every one of those shots that they did, there was contact with the head. Right?
Well, I'd like to see them again and see if you're telling me.
Right, well, I will show you later on, Eddie.
I'd be lucky.
Trust me, I will.
I think that's a threat, Eddie.
He gets irate, doesn't he? He loses his colour when he starts getting angry. Throws pens around. Just like when you were playing. Stephen Price is watching anxiously here because Callum Turner could easily level the scores with this. And level the scores he has. Right on the stroke of half-time. 12-0 up at one stage. Then they were trailing 20-12, and it's Castleford who fought their way back to half-time to give us a 20 points apiece scoreline. There's the half-time siren. It's 40 minutes of mixed emotions for the 2 coaches. Darryl Powell was up and down, I think, and the same must be said about Stephen Price. His team started slowly, bounced back. Castleford started like a whirlwind, fell off the pace and bounced back up to half-time. Great entertainment, 40 points in 40 minutes. Can't do much better than that. McMeekan, Turner, Hitchcock's tries, Turner with all the goals, Roberts, Ratchford, Clark and Aquala, Livett with 2 goals. 20 points apiece here at Warrington at half-time.
When the journey ahead seems a little ordinary, seek out something different. With its ultra-dynamic styling, state-of-the-art technology, and Mitsubishi's clever super all-wheel control 4-wheel drive system, the Eclipse Cross is our new breed of SUV. Defy the ordinary with the all-new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross.
Isn't it time for a real conversation about your insurance? At NFU Mutual, our dedicated agents in 300 local offices and UK call centres take the time to talk things through. These real conversations help you cover the things that really matter and help us to pay out on 98% of claims, no quibble. To start a real conversation about your insurance, call NFU Mutual.
Let's go and see a film with Meerkat Movies. It's one whole year of films with Meerkat Movies. 12 months, 4 seasons, the deal is all year long. It's a musical. I hate musicals.
A whole year of 2-for-1 cinema tickets only for customers of Compare the Market. Simples.
Hey, you're missing the game. I live as I play, effortless and fast. It's on Zlatan.
Genius!
It reminded me of me.
You don't want to miss the FIFA World Cup. We make payments fast and easy, so you never have to.
Must remember to repaint the walls, wash the cat, fix the toilet, and apologise to the clown.
These are pang. I should text Dave about these.
Did I leave the heating on?
Oh my gosh. Okay, Google.
Hi, how can I help?
Call my agent.
Goodness, what a try! Cricket's been rocked down under.
Sorry.
Now under a new regime.
We're better than that.
Australia's journey to redemption starts against their old enemy and best one-day team in the world, England. The One-Day International Series starts Wednesday, live on Sky Sports Cricket.
I've been around the world to explore primates and cats, but now it's time to go big. Join me, Patrick Ie, as I face some of the most dangerous and endangered giants on our planet. Big Beasts, Last of the Giants, starts Wednesday at 9 on Sky One.
That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
We've got a triple header of International Rugby Union coming up for you on Sky Sports tomorrow. New Zealand take on France. 8 a.m. start for that one on Sky Sports Action. 10:45 a.m. Ireland are taking on Australia. And then at 3 p.m. South Africa, England. Sky Sports Action for all of those. Well, welcome back to the Halliwell Jones Stadium. It is round 17 of the Betfred Super League and it's 20 points apiece at half-time. The understrength Castleford Tigers first to hit the front 6-0 through a Mike McMeekin try. They doubled that to 12-0 when Callum Turner scored. And then the Wolves roared back, but they could not shake the Tigers. We have a fascinating second half in prospect. It is a busy night in the Betfred Super League. Let me give you a rundown of the other scores. Big scoreline over at the KCOM Stadium. Beretta Freema with a couple of those tries. Jack Downs, Jack Logan, Hakim Maludi amongst the try scorers. Drop goal from Jay Connor. He's successful with the boot as well. Big lead over Salford at half-time, 37-0 for that one. St Helens 18-0 up against Hull Kingston Rovers. Ryan Morgan, Ben Barber scoring for them, and James Roby getting his 100th try for St Helens. But the big story right now is over at Huddersfield. 18-12 to Huddersfield, but play has been stopped for 9 minutes so far. Not yet half-time because Mikolaj Odlecki is still receiving treatment from the Rhinos medical staff after a head clash with Stevie Ward. A reminder, we will have all the tries from tonight's other games on Super League Extra Time at 10 p.m. Half-time stats from the Halliwell Jones Stadium. The Warrington Wolves under the Castleford Tigers, I should say, with the lion's share possession, 52-48 for that. 13 missed tackles for the Castleford Tigers, just 7 for the Warrington Wolves. Completion rate of 71%. Steve Price, no doubt, will have something to say about that in the dressing rooms at half-time. And I want to get the half-time thoughts from the man who was beside me pre-game, John Wells, who said that the big question you had before this half was to see whether or not Castleford Tigers would play with the swagger that came back into their play with that win over Hull Kingston Rovers. You surely saw it in that first half.
Oh, in spades, yes. And I think sometimes when you focus too much on who's not playing, you forget about the opportunities you're giving to who is. We'll start with a familiar face in Mike McMeekin.
Clever play.
Part of a really good start from the Castleford Tigers. The second, well, it had a little bit of good fortune in it, didn't it? But you've got to put your body in the right place. And again, people talk about what confidence does for you, and swagger, if you want to use that word this evening. It means you end up in the right place more often than you don't.
Well, if they were vulnerable in confidence, it could have really been dented when the Warrington Wolves roared back with these 3-4 tries in a row.
Yeah, and that's typical, isn't it, from the Warrington Wolves. Josh Charnley becoming an expert at that. Tyrone Roberts filling up round the back. And then a ball that went to ground here from Chris Hill. has done Alex Foster on the outside. The indicator, the massive indicator in attack is Stefan Ratchford having another one of those games. Darrell Clarke then squeezes over in a bizarre-looking try. One of the easiest he'll ever score, I think, in his career. Before Warrington extended the lead they took on the 20th minute through Aquala, but once again down to that man.
And that came after Alex Foster had dropped the ball with the line available to him. Big score, though, for Castleford came 5 minutes to go in the half with Jai Hitchcock's try. And it must be said the conversion was exceptional as well.
Yeah, you said to me just before we came on a massive score for the Castleford Tigers. They needed it at that time. And then you had Callum Turner's penalty as well on top of that. And that's why we got the score square. Just a thing before we start, because I'm going to rip him to bits here. Callum Turner, as a 19-year-old lad, has come into this. He got the call this morning that he was going to be playing in the game. He thought he was going to be playing in a 19s game yesterday. Had never kicked a first-grade goal at all. Had only kicked 2 in the academy this season, so from the boot he's been exceptional.
Hugely important position. Communication is key if you're going to play at full-back. He will learn on the job, no doubt about that. Talk to us about his communication, what he might be trying to say to the players as he's arranging his defensive line here.
Well, there's 2 things I want you to bear in mind. One, he's young and inexperienced, and 2, it's a different voice for these Castleford Tigers that they're hearing, the 5th different voice this season. Have a look here, that's your indicator. If I'm a fullback, I'm looking where that man is going, because he's the man who's going to create your extra man for Warrington Wolves on the outside. So I picked it up a tackle before, and Callum Turner very active at the back. I don't know how vocal he is, or I don't know how well the Tigers are responding, because you've had Jake Truman who's gone back to the short side there because he plays on that side, but there's little or no reaction from Jesse Senni-Lefeo.
Stefan Ratchford, as you say, is the
that's
indicator.
the danger man. That's the danger man. You've had Kevin Brown come across the ruck. There should be alarm bells ringing, and the culmination of all that is that you've not moved across late enough. It's forced Quentin Lalu-Tongagai out of the line, and regardless of the arm waving, you've got to be really definite in your communication to the Castleford Tigers defensive line. And as I said, it might be because of the new voice. Here's another example again. Callum Turner
great
here.
Angle from behind. Okay, now it's worth pointing out that Callum Turner is not solely to blame for these. There's other players that have a place to play and a defensive decision to make, and don't make the correct one.
But this just goes to show how subtle you've got to be, or how subtle and how definite in the same breath, because he's made a call and he's made it late. Now what he's got is he's got 2 players coming out the ruck who are both going to go the same side now, which he doesn't want, because you watch now, he'll change his call. He's realised he wants a player over, and he's upset that he's not got that. Go to the next play. Happens again. You get Mike McMeekin coming off late. He's sent across his first man. That was Mitch Clark across here. Have a look at the guy at the ruck here. Late call, too late. Now, there's a gap here, and a big gap. Admittedly, Darrell Clarke does very well with this, but the gap between these two is now too big. Have a look at what happens here with Matt Cook when this ball gets put on the inside. Matt Cook has just got to keep on following Darrell Clarke. He doesn't, he gets done on the inside, and you end up with a try underneath the sticks, and that will temper Darrell's enthusiasm for what has been an exceptional first half in attack for Callum Turner, and despite the Tigers not playing anywhere near their potential, find themselves locked up at half-time.
Steve Price might wonder how they are level at half-time. No doubt he's aware of how talented that Castleford Tigers are, but they are under strength going into this game, and Warrington got themselves into a great position, 20 points to a 12 lead, before the Castleford Tigers came back, and I'm sure made Daryl Powell's half-time team talk so much easier, as he will say to his players, there is 2 competition points here for you if you want to kick on in the second half. They're going up against a very good Warrington side, but have given themselves a massive chance. Remember, a win for the Tigers, and they move level on points on the table with the Warrington Wolves. It might not have been spectacular thus far in 2018, but you cannot shake the Tigers. Eddie and the boys standing by for the second half of this intriguing game.
Big chase on him, Luke Gay with a drop goal! He has kicked it!
If you spit blood, you may have gum disease and could be on a journey to much worse. Help stop the journey of gum disease. Switch to Corsadil toothpaste. It's 4 times more effective at removing the main cause of bleeding gums. For healthy gums and strong teeth, help leave bleeding gums behind. Corsadil Ultra Clean.
For people, for plans, for 200 years.
Small says stay because you want to stay. There's no contract to keep you. Gift gaff. The mobile network run by you.
It's pretty amazing out there. The world is full of possibilities. And American Express has your back every step of the way. So jump in and explore the world with your reward points. Or get the support your business needs. You can trust us to have your back. Wherever you go, we're right there with you. The powerful backing of American Express. Don't do business without it. Don't live life without it.
At Paddy Power, we were thinking, why can't VAR sort out all the nonsense off the pitch as well as on it? Like who's first at the bar? The refs are having a look. Oh, it's an easy one. Dave's first by a nasal hair. There's nothing VAR can't clear up.
Benji's gone to live on a farm now.
No, he hasn't. Swingers. No, they don't. Horse. Socks. Helen from accounts. You get the picture. We're putting the world to rights one video replay at a time. Paddy Power. Enough of the nonsense.
You press allow and now we'll see if you're alleged which one you be. But in return we get to know a lot. We're collecting all your info and we're sharing everything so strangers know about the rash you got. Enjoy yourself but check your settings to make sure that you're not letting stuff be shared you'd really rather not.
Visit Barclays to discover ways that you can take control of your personal data.
By the way, you're an onion.
The new Huawei P20 Pro is the world's first triple-N smartphone with AI assistance. Photography will never be the same. The Huawei P20 Pro.
Another massive game in Super League as Catalan take on Widnes. Live on Sky Sports Arena.
I'm not going to show that picture to anyone. Not as long as your studio produces my film. If you don't, I'll ruin you.
Cricket's been rocked down under.
Sorry.
Now under a new regime.
We're better than that.
Australia's journey to redemption starts against their old enemy and best one-day team in the world, England. The One-Day International Series starts Wednesday, live on Sky Sports Cricket.
And perhaps weave a little bit of magic. Well, it's a Super League Friday live from Warrington, 20 points apiece here. Tomorrow, Super League live from the Catalan Dragons home ground in Perpignan, south of France. Catalan Dragons against Widnes, 5 o'clock start, Sky Sports Arena on those red buttons. Here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, we've had 40 points in the first 40 minutes, 20 each. Roberts, Ratchford, Clark, Akwola, McMeekan, Turner, Hitchcock's 4 tries to 3. The boot of young Callum Turner has kept Castleford Tigers level at half-time. Well, it's been a really interesting week or so in Warrington, that is for sure. Last weekend, of course, the club turned over a big deficit from the Magic weekend and got to the Challenge Cup semi-finals, and they've sold out almost all of their Cup semi-final tickets in 2 days this week. And also this week, a world record. Over 850 people took part in the largest mental health awareness lesson ever held on this pitch. So the club's going places, there's no doubt about that, and the club hope they're going this year both to Wembley and Old Trafford.
And well done to the State of Mind charity, all the people that worked tirelessly on that, and Dr. Phil Cooper, of course, heads that up. A big task in front of both these sides in the second half. Lots of points scored, as you say, 4 tries to 3. I still don't think either side has settled into this game yet.
This is Phil Bin.
Look through the stats at it. Missed tackles a minimum. Line breaks a minimum. There isn't much in it, but there's a lot of points on the scoreboard.
Eddie, a change at half-time as well. Deck Patton's on the pitch, Kevin Brown's off. Not sure if that's a problem or just a change from Steve Price.
Well, I'm sure Angela Powers is checking that out for us as we speak. The Deck Patton, he signed a new 2-year contract extension this week, so he's certainly one for the present and the future. He's only 23 years of age.
Be interesting to see what Darryl Powell said at half-time as they get their first penalty in this second half.
Interference at the ruck.
A strong run from Jai Hitchcock's the man who's on the left wing, trying to get up for Koala all over him. I'm sure they'll talk about just keep going, respect the ball, and just keep working hard for each other. That's what got them the first 12 points in this game.
So Shenton now restarts. And he gets it away to Joe Wardle. 20 metres out. Milner looks for the runners, and it's Truman. And Truman then fires it wide. QLT to Turner, and then here is Foster. And remember, poor old Alex Foster in the first half, had he taken that pass in, well, Castleford would be ahead at this stage. McMeekan, QLT again. Lateral run from him, then it gets a pass away to Massey, who breaks the first defender and keeps going almost to the line. And it took some good defence from Philbin and Ratchford to keep him out. It's now with Milner. QLT again just pops the pass up to McMeekan. Going backwards at the moment. Now will he straighten it up? Well, perhaps Shenton will. Shenton goes back the same route. Gets the ball away to Lalo Tonga guy. He stabs it to the in-goal area. It's a great kick, grounded in goal by Lynham. Goal line dropout coming up. Pressure from Castleford. Start of this second half.
Well, kept shifting the point of attack and kicking on the third player, QLT. Knowing that there's some space behind, he thought, yeah, may as well kick it, stab it through the line, get another set of 6. We've got Warrington on the back foot here. And they started this second half like they started the first.
That's a really good result from a smart, intelligent kick.
Would the game have been more exciting if we didn't allow the defending team to ground the ball in their own goal area? Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like taking the mark, isn't it, that really? We've stopped the game, stopped any chance of attack. How much of a challenge for Lynham would it have been to pick up the ball and try to get back into play?
Well, the rules are the rules, as they are on head shots, Terence, as they are on grounding the ball in goal.
I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe the Lord's committee at the end of the season might want to talk about things like that.
Well, we try and alter the rules every week. Here is QLT, gets it away to McMeekan. I think the lesson we have to learn is let's just play on. And that's what they're doing here with Milner. Castleford just held up. Good defence from Warrington.
Well, had to be alert as well with Adam Milner. A good player. He used to swap, didn't he, that role with Darryl Clark when Darryl Clark was at Cass. Sure, that hooking position.
It's Oliver Holmes now. And Truman gets the ball away. Turner, it's Shenton over the top. Oh! That came off the feet of Tyrone Roberts. They were very close then. It would have been another spectacular score.
You know, I want to give that youngster Callum Turner an awful lot of praise here. His lines have been very good. He's been chiming into the line, the sweeping line that he runs, and that's where Cass have struggled this year. But I think he's absolutely nailing that sort of line.
Another solid run from Philbin. Here comes Atkins. Atkins will play the ball here to Clark. Clark will have a run at them because there were markers not standing square. McMeekan was all right, though. Last tackle, they have reached Warrington. Expect the kick here from Roberts. There it goes. High down this right-hand side. Hitchcock claims it easily, and Atkin effects the tackle. Right. Opening exchanges of the first half. Let's find out what was said at half-time. Angela Powers.
Well, two coaches with two very different mood levels at half-time. Steve Price said he was disappointed with Warrington's energy levels. They lacked that effort in the small effort areas, he said, and application wasn't great. They were, in fact, flat. He wants more energy and intent in their actions in the second half. And if they deliver that, they might just get the result, but they might just have to do it without Kevin Brown. He's doing something on the bike here now, trying to keep his legs warm, but he went straight into the treatment room straight after half-time. Out now, but they might not come back on. Castleford, well, Darryl Powell very pleased, defending well, doing smart things with the ball. They're going to be a tough second half, he says, but the lads who came in tonight have stepped up well. They're doing an awesome job, he said. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. Yes, to be well pleased with them, there's no doubt about that. That kick, though, from QLT wasn't the best. It was straight into the arms of Ratchford. You don't give him free rein to run from deep. Well, Alex Foster was up and over the top. Nick was down around him as well, and the referee said it was a strike to the head.
And the ruck speed would have been talked about as well. Eddie in that first half, or after the first half, and Stephen Ratchford there, they get a penalty. Look at the kick here.
Outstanding kick, look at that.
And it's Lynham from the penalty. There's the ball.
I'll tell you what, Eddie, Steve Price, he wanted some energy, he wanted some effort. They need to feed off the crowd beneath us. My God, they've raised the levels. The Warrington Wolves are feeding off that.
Clark to Patton. Beck Patton then gets it away to Roberts. Here's Murdoch-Masilla. He's very difficult to stop. And looks like Milner's in trouble with the Warrington players.
I think there was a shot on Tyrone Roberts. Benny Westwood, the old stager, well, they won't have anybody take one of the half-backs out, and Adam Milner, he does lead from the front, doesn't he? When someone needs to get off the line and hit with intent, he's the man who normally leads by example.
Well, this is exactly what Castleford don't want, really.
It's Milner in it who takes him out.
And it looks like it's with the shoulder as well, isn't it? He goes in with the shoulder. This could probably be 10 minutes for Milner, I think, here.
Well, he hits him late, the inside pressure. And I think this will be 10 minutes in the bin here for Adam Milner. A big loss if he goes off.
Charge by Adam Milner. Adam Milner is going in a sin bin, and then going to pull out Nathan Massey and Ben Westwood and have a word with him about running in, and we're leaving it at that. All right? Adam!
Well, Adam Milner's on his way for 10 minutes. Sit down in the stand, as was widely predicted. But Darryl Powell doesn't believe what he's watching. And now the referee will have a word with two others about the running in, Nathan Massey and Ben Westwood.
Well, it's a fine line that Adam Milner plays the game on. Not late tackle, 10 minutes in the sin bin.
You think about it at your age as well. Whistle's gone. I don't need anybody running in like
they
that.
might get sent off for puddling.
All right.
What a great line from Ben Taylor.
Should know better at your age.
Think about it. I should say that to you lot.
Yeah. Well, he knew what he was doing then, Adam Milner. Here he goes, Benny Westwood after the brawl, the first one who takes it in.
And Nathan Massey wasn't far away. Here is Clark. Gives it then to Jack Hughes. And Hughes is just held onto by Joe Wardle. Clark gets it away to Patton. Patton slides the kick in, and Alex Foster
plays to my rules, Eddie.
He does. Same result.
Yeah, a bit more
he might have got clobbered if he'd have just put himself on the ground with it.
You know, Steve Price will be happy that they come up with another set of 6 here, because kicking on the second play, if there's too much weight on that, you have got to take gambles, you have got to take risks. It comes off for them. Good pressure, good defence to keep Foster in.
I think we saw some brilliant kicks in the first 20 minutes of this game. But as the old adage goes, a kick's only as good as its chase. And Steve Price, he's sending some messages down. As I say, the atmosphere's ramped up considerably now. The crowd is behind the team, and the players that are making those decisions need to make smart ones, like Patton did on that occasion.
This is Jack Hughes. Surrounded by tangerine jerseys. Clark to Westwood. Solid run again.
He rises to the challenge, doesn't he?
This is Darryl Clark, gets it away to Patton. Nice little feint from Patton, and tried to straighten himself up. Clark now trying to get the ball away, and does, to Ratchford. Kick out wide, looking for Josh Charney. It's a bit high, but he's palmed it down, but straight to Michael Shenton. And the referee says he palmed it down and it went forward, so it's a knock on.
Well, Cass get the ball. And again, another kick early. That was on the 4th play. Josh Charney trying to get the ball back inside to Ryan Atkins. And you can see the amount of numbers that's there. The teammates supporting him.
So Castleford survive.
why the rest don't flop.
Well, so did he.
Did he tackle him in the air?
Well, there probably is contact in the air, but I think the focus was on the ball then.
Hull FC 43, Salford 0. Loretta Farimo has scored a hat-trick.
It's a big score, that, isn't it? Weren't they courageous last week against Saints in the Challenge Cup?
No cup hangover there then.
Joe Benny, get here. Go. One.
Nathan Massey filled into him very quickly.
Move, Ben. Marcus. Go.
Holmes, McMeekan.
3. Move, Harvey. Benny, get on side. Go. 3.
Holmes again. Millington will cart it forward for Castleford.
4. Move, Jack. Wait here, please.
Finding the sideline perhaps with this kick won't be a great option if they can do it. I know he's going to kick it here deep because we've seen how dangerous now. With 12 players on the field and then Warrington in the ascendancy, giving him a running start at you is dangerous.
They deal with the threat this time though.
Well, there's a danger though, isn't there? You can see that Stefan Ratchford looking to offload the ball. And the longer that Cass are in this game, the more pressure that they put on Warrington, because everyone expected to turn up here with all the players that were missing, and more or less a front line team that Steve Price had apart from Ben Curry. They expected him to win by a decent score.
Then Murdoch Musilla to Jack Hughes. Now here's Patton, and wide they go to Goodwin. And Goodwin gets it away to Lynham. He flings it back inside, and the man who's there is McMeekan. Patton appealing for a knock-on. I don't think it was, and Ben Thaler agrees it wasn't. And in fact now Castleford get the penalty because of Patton's frustrations, I think.
Well, first to the breakdown, Cass. Look to go outside, and Tom Lynham going on out of the field. He offloads the ball back inside. Mike McMeekan's the first to react, and then a little push third on Mike McMeekan from Deck Patton towards the penalty to the opponents.
Try off the bench against Wigan last week for Deck Patton, and it sealed the 23 points to 0 win in the Cup. 18 all at Headingley, same here, 20 all at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. So it looks like a big win for Hull, a battle royal for Leeds and Huddersfield, and Saints, well, later score there 12-0. Hull Kingston Rovers giving a pretty good account of themselves, to be fair, on paper anyway. Massey now.
That's a great line, back behind the play the ball, 10 easy metres.
Millington gets it away to Truman. This is Wardle. Murdoch Musilla is such a massive human being. You almost need to do a three-point turn to get round him. Here's QLT. Nice pass, good hands. Holmes gets it to Foster. Ball's knocked out. Ball went backwards, play on. Livette has it for Warrington.
You do like their attitude though, don't you, Cass? They're not leaving anything in the tank at all there. They're throwing the ball around, they're working really hard for each other. Just a tackle from Lyman that dislodges the ball from Foster.
Good win now for Warrington. Penalty for Warrington. Oliver Holmes with a little push as he tried to get to his feet.
You know, Barry said that the Warrington team are building on what the crowd are doing and the atmosphere that they're generating. Well, I think that this Cass side are enjoying it as well. They're enjoying the battle, they're certainly in it, they're hitting hard.
And they're happy to frustrate both players and supporters if they can. And they have for 12 minutes of this second half so far. But Warrington in possession again now in a dangerous situation with Roberts, who gets it away to Ratchford. Gets the ball out to Charnley. I think he might have got this down, you know. I think he might have got this down, Josh Charnley.
I'm with you, Eddie. This is a try, this.
Do you think he grounds it, don't you think?
I think on the other side we might see he just gets the ball down. We'll see. We'll see. It's down to Phil Bentham again and Stuart Cummings.
Well, perhaps I don't make the decision, but I'll try and see what happens. He's given us a try on the field. Does he maintain? Yes, his left hand's on the ball as it goes down. Yes, that's him. That's fine. He's got possession. This try will be confirmed.
That's a lot of experience in that try. The way that he approaches, he's got two defenders around him. He knows exactly what to do. He uses their weight and momentum to get over the try line and then wriggles the ball to put it in a position to score the try.
Well, Josh Charnley 14 tries in 11 consecutive appearances, make that 15 in 12 now since returning to rugby league, and his 8th try in the Betfred Super League.
Well, here's the penalty. Coming away from their own line, Bryson Goodwin fights hard enough to force the whistle of the referee. And what about this pass from Stephen Ratchford? Left to right pass into the pathway of that experienced winger who does everything right.
You know, a sensational return to rugby league, isn't he? Look at when he gets this ball. He gets his bumpers up, comes in field, gets rid of it, Hitchcocks, and then all of a sudden you look at him and you think, yeah, that's the confidence that this is the reason why they spend the big money bringing him back to rugby league from rugby union. He certainly knows how to finish a try.
He does, and it's 4 years since he last pulled on an England jersey. Wayne Bennett will announce his squad on Monday for the trip to Denver, Colorado to take on New Zealand later this month. Will Josh Charnley's name be on the list?
Well, if you want a try score, what do you say, 15 tries in 12 games now? Well, there's your man, isn't he?
And Harvey Levett misses. He pulls it the wrong side of the posts. 24-20 then, and remember, Castleford down to 12 men. Damage limitation for them thus far.
Well, they've done well, haven't they, to defend so far with 12 men so well, because that's a great pass from Stephen Ratchford. He's had great service on the wing since he arrived at the Warrington Wolves. I think they've got faith in him, and he said, just get me the ball and ask me to do my job, and that's score tries.
You know, you look how close to these. See, Adam Miller on the bench. He's still got a few minutes to go before he's back on the field. But Callum Turner, he's been knocking them over everywhere, and Warrington have missed 3 conversions as well.
A couple of minutes left for Adam Milner to sit this out in the sin bin. Warrington then will try and make use of the extra man here if they can. Probably for the last time before he returns. Goodwin straight at McMeekin with Foster's help and a little bit of help from Jesse Senilifeo. He goes down. Cooper now for Warrington.
Movement, Joe! Ready, Mike? Mike, acting quick, come on,
Clark into centre field to Roberts. Nice pass to Murdoch Masilla. Do your best, and they do.
Well, you've got to try and line in Ben Murdoch Masilla up against the likes of Jake Truman over here on the left-hand side. The Cass.
Last tackle here for Warrington this set. Patton goes off on a little run, gets the ball wide to Goodwin. Goodwin puts boot to ball, reclaims it. Oh, it would have been wonderful.
Just didn't come off, did it? Over there, and he looked to play. Kick the ball forward. There's a good aggressive chase here now from Cooper and Westwood. I know that Greg Minikin's very good returning the ball. A couple of players looked like they just walked offside then. The Warrington jersey.
It's been such a fast pace. Both teams, you look at the last set of 6 that Warrington had, the reason the kick was so messy is because they play the ball with that quick. And you see, Castleford are trying to do the same, keep a high tempo to the game.
Warrington though, muscle up in defence, bring younger Troopman to the floor on tackle number 5. Oh, he could be in trouble here. QLT. Well picked up by Turner. It goes backwards, and still the last. And Millington, the prop forward with the kick
from the front rower.
That's not bad, is it?
Give it to the front row and let him sort it out. Great work, Grant Millington. He's played, of course, in the half-back position before for Darryl Powell.
How good is this young full-back, Callum Turner?
It looks like it's almost 5th time lucky, isn't it? They had 4 other players playing that position. And, you know, I mean, the odds on him getting selected in that position were slim, weren't they? I don't think he'd have started this morning, would he? Had Greg Eden have played there. But he's been fantastic.
And have they found the answer to the Zach Hardacre problem?
Well, maybe not overnight. He might need time. I don't know whether he could continuously play week in, week out in that role. But there's a mistake here, and his teammates are really lifting. Oliver Holmes congratulated by his colleagues. There are high fives around the Tigers fan players because they recognise he has a chance.
And Milner returns to the action. They're back to the full complement of players.
Well, they're forcing the error, aren't they? And all the young players that you get, whether they play for Warrington or Cass or other Super League sides, they need to develop. And yeah, we're waxing lyrical about how good he is, Callum Turner, and I've been really impressed with his attack, because the attack for Cass this year hasn't looked that good. It's looked okay tonight, though.
He's under the right coach, though. He's going to develop under Darryl Powell. He's going to get the right information, the right coaching. And you're right, Tez. Young players, they need to be exposed to that high level, but also they're going to make mistakes and need to take a break for a week or two.
What age did you say? 19? 19 years of age. Well, he's been impressive tonight, and his game against Hull 2 weeks ago on his debut, he scored a try as well. I know now they've got QLT who can play at full-back, and they've obviously got the Greg Eden option. They've got Ben Roberts option when he comes back in. That was forward from the said Quentin Lalo Tonga guy.
I'd like to see him run more. And an amazing reputation in the championship. Some just seems to like pull out of that tackle then.
He was forced into that pass because of Jack Hughes. He gets up into his face. I think he wants to take it to the line, but he's almost surprised with the speed.
Well, he's played for Toronto and Halifax this year in the championship. He got 20 tries in 22 for the Canadian side last year. He made his name, though, in 6 seasons at Sheffield. 164 tries in 188 appearances. Full-back or wing, thrust into a Super League debut at scrum half, because needs must.
As I said, he's certainly a player that likes to take you on his running game. It is his real threat. And that's why at full-back, when he plays in that position, you see him, he is so dangerous.
At 34. At 33, should I say, coming up to 34. Not the oldest player to make his debut.
I'll tell you what, he'd be happy with how his teammates have just defended for 3 tackles. We've got 3 more to go, but they've really worked hard, haven't they, to contain Warrington, stop them rolling downfield.
That's a great quick play, the ball, though, by Westwood. This is Clark. Darryl Clark. Referee calls held. This is Roberts. Nice little chip over the top for Roberts. It almost came off for him as well. And it's a free play. Knock on, he says. Ben Saylor.
We saw this last night, didn't we, Wigan? Talking to the referee on a number of occasions because they were frustrated. This is the same can be said about Warrington now. Just a 4-point lead, and Castle well and truly in this game, challenging them on all fronts.
And Minikin. As we approach the hour mark, only 4 points in it. There are very few people who were on their way here today would have thought, when they saw the Castle, the team sheet, that this would be the situation. But they're right in it. And this is McMeekin. Tackled by Paco. Milner back out of the sin bin. Can he weave a little bit of magic? He finds Millington. Millington's pass goes to ground, but it's okay for Castle because it's with young Turner, who's making a hell of a name for himself tonight. They've reached tackle 5. 5 metres away from the line. This is Truman again. Stabs the kick through. Horrible ricochet. And Ratchford has to take safety first action. It's a goal line dropout.
In that set of 6, Eddie, there was a lot of players walking for Warrington. The spacings weren't right. They weren't working hard. And when your spacings aren't right, you're probably surrounding yourself with teammates because you want them to help you out, because you are lacking in that sort of energy.
Alarm bells will be ringing for Castleford, though, because Chris Hill has just returned to the fray.
I'm going to go back to the point I made just after half-time. In the first 20 minutes, both teams, their kicking game was matched or bettered by their kick chase, and it was a wonderful chase by Castleford Tigers, and this is the reward for them. Here we go.
Millington just picks the ball up, draws a deep breath, digs deep, and gets as far as that. Chris Hill, his first involvement since he's returned to the fray. Senny Lefeo.
Grant Millington doing big minutes in the engine room, isn't he? Here he goes again.
Taking it forward. This is Joe Wardle. Back it comes to Michael Shenton. Shenton, long striding, gets the ball into centre field to Senny Lefeo. It's away to QLT! QLT at 33 on his Super League debut, levels the scores. Well, he knows where the try line is. The stats speak for themselves. He confessed to being just a little bit nervous, a little bit edgy coming into this match. The nerves will have settled now, because Quentin Lalo Tongagai has scored his first ever try in Super League for Castleford Tigers at the age of 33.
Eddie has waited 7 years for a crack at Super League, and he certainly has had a decent go at it, hasn't he, against the Warrington side that everyone expected to win. And what about this offload here? Absolutely exceptional play from Jesse Seni-Lefeo. When they're on the front foot, they are a pleasure to watch, turning up for each other, going back against the angles. Who's going to push up with Shenton? The big offload to see you later from Lefeo, and the footwork from Lalu Tongagai.
Right at the beginning of that play, there's a late movement from Grant Millington. The effort he has to put in to get himself in position, having been involved a tackle before, sets that play up. Good instinctive play, players looking for the ball, putting themselves in a position not only to help their teammate out, but get on the end of a ball and potentially score a try.
Now then, Callum Turner in off the post. Oh, and a little puff of the cheeks, a little bit of a shake of the head. And that was the player, not the coach, who must be delighted with his team tonight.
Well, at the start of last season, we came to this ground and we watched the Castleford Tigers score some absolutely brilliant tries. And they've done that again here, just over 12 months later, without Zach Hardaker, without Paul McShane, or even Luke Gale, three of the main men from last year. It's no fluke that this team and this club have built a great rugby league philosophy and culture, and they're enjoying every single second.
Do you think he's enjoying it? Do you think he's getting value for money?
I don't want to meet him in the car park.
If I'm reading his body language right, it's "I told you."
Well, I was on the way home from Wakefield last night listening to the radio, and that's almost out on the ball. You know, it wasn't, and he managed to stay in the field of play. Hitchcock's, but only just. I was listening to... just stays in, look at that. I was listening to Andrew Henderson, the assistant coach here. Apparently, QLT at one stage is being linked very heavily with a move to Warrington earlier on in his career. And he's turned up here tonight on his Super League debut for the opposition, and it's a fairy tale.
He's a player with great speed, and we've obviously seen his instincts getting on the end of things. And he'll give Castleford options. It's not necessarily about who you lock in specific positions. For Darryl Powell and Castleford Tigers, or any other team that wants to challenge for the top, it's about having options, players fighting for positions. We've already seen Adam Milner. We've said before, he made his name as a 9. One of their best players this evening, Paul McShane, is unable to take the field and be part of this game. Somebody steps forward, and what it will do, it will force Paul McShane. It will force him to look at his game and say, do you know what, when I get back, I'm going to have to be at my top level. There's Paul McShane.
There he is.
Texting home.
And Luke Gale as well. There's great spirit in the Castleford camp, there really is.
Before on the left and after on the right. There you go, the hairline looks good, Daly. Don't worry about that, lad.
Well, Cronulla against Wests, Sunday morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. Sky Sports Arena, latest offerings from the NRL. Melbourne, Brisbane, Sunday, 7:05. It follows, St. John. Castleford came here tonight knowing a win would draw them level on points with Warrington. Importantly, they have got a game in hand. They're inside the top 4. They didn't make it last year from the top of the pile. I just wonder if they get in the top 4 this year, will they have learned their lessons?
You know, Eddie, what this Warrington side as well, they've scored 5 tries to 4 against Castleford, but it's the goal kicking from Callum Turner. He's kicked 5 from 5.
And he even finds the woodwork and they go in. Roberts hoists one high. Ratchford's after this. Ratchford palms the ball forward. So, doesn't matter now, doesn't matter. They bring it back for the knock-on, and it's the turnover, 12, 13 metres away.
Well, like I said before, Eddie, the more this game goes on, the more pressure's on Warrington. Everything's been going for them in the last 13, 14 weeks. With just one loss, they've been in incredible form, some good performances, and Steve Price, when he came into the side, he stripped it back, he made them play the game, and made them be more controlled in their attack.
I spoke to Kevin Brown before the game, and I think the role he has in this side is to provide the composure, the calming voice to calm the actions. Now he's on the field, so this is a real test of the development now as the ball comes out backwards there for the Tigers, for the Warrington side. Without Kevin Brown, who is the calming voice, and do they have the control in this last 15 now to close out a tight one?
Well, we'll see, and we'll also see shortly who the 4 nominees are for Man of the Match tonight, and that is going to be the most difficult decision of the season. You'll be able to vote on our league app on your mobile devices. We'll give you the nod when the voting is open. We'll give you the names of the 4 players. This fellow's got to be amongst the nominees.
I'd be disappointed if he's not in.
Callum Turner.
Shown up really well. Got involved, got stuck in, some good stuff.
QLT's away. It's Oliver Holmes who scores for Castleford. Well, Quentin Lalo Tongagai is involved in Man of the Match as well, surely. Oliver Holmes with the try, created by an incredible run from QLT, and our pal in the stands is loving every minute of it. He's even got the kazoo out.
He actually looks like John Wells with that beard.
What a try from Castleford
Fantastic.
Tigers.
Two fantastic tries.
The character on show, down on numbers, star names missing, but they have put in a wonderful team performance. Beautiful footwork. Lalu Tongagai beats the defender with a lovely right foot step, goes back inside, rolling offload to the hard-working Oliver Holmes. He's one of the most underestimated players. He started the game on the bench, Oliver Holmes. The coach, Darryl Powell, had complete trust in the player to come on, add to the team play. He gets on the end of that and gets a well-deserved try. That's 7 for the season for him now.
And tries in 3 of his last 4 games. There is such spirit amongst Castleford. Down on numbers, they have been for weeks. And Turner, well, it's academic, he adds the extras. It's 24 points Warrington, it's 32 to Castleford.
Oliver Holmes scored the try. We asked QLT before the game, what can the Super League viewers expect from you? He said, I'm a runner, I like taking on the defensive line. I like entertaining the fans. And there's one fan that's certainly entertained.
Come on! I think he's enjoying himself, as I say. He's had value for money.
Well, they've turned up tonight with depleted. I know that John Wells said before, just shouldn't really talk about the players missing, but no one give them a chance.
No.
They've absolutely backed themselves. And I bet you, if you asked Darryl Powell, did you expect to be more or less a full-strength Warrington side that are well and truly on a roll? Deep down, he would have thought, I'd love to, but I can't see us beating them.
I don't think Warrington are done either. I don't think Warrington have given this game away. They're going to have to get some possession and field position.
12 minutes remaining. The way it's going, though, with the way people like Millington, who also is a man of the match candidate, surely.
Momentum swings. It goes either way within a game of rugby league. And at some point, Warrington will have their fair share of position and possession, and it's up to them to capitalise on that then.
There's a long way to go yet, but at the minute, Castleford, they just can't get the ball off them. Look at Milner, look at Milner.
That was a good charge from him as well, wasn't he? Sat Darryl Clark on his backside.
Last tackle coming up here for Cass. Truman hoists the high one. Charnley's underneath it. He's got Hitchcox ahead of him. Hitchcox and Shenton stood their ground. And Wardle came in to lend a little bit of weight. Right, time for us to reveal the candidates. Ratchford and Clark of Warrington, QLT and Millington of Castleford. Where on earth is the name of Callum Turner?
Oh, really surprised with that one. Really surprised with that one.
The names of those players are selected by a former Super League legend who remains anonymous week by week, apart from at the Magic weekend. And whoever he is tonight, well, it'll be a talking point that Callum Turner's not on the list, but QLT is. I wonder if it'll be a fairy tale for him. High kick again from Roberts. Oops. Mistake from the man we've been building up. Turner. Roberts. Then they've got Masilla. Atkins. Charnley in the corner. Second try for Josh Charnley. And maybe that's why young Turner's not on the list. There might be a mistake in a young man, and the legend of Super League maybe knows better than us. They have a try on the field. I don't think there's any problem with the grounding, and that's exactly what they're looking at. But this is an important decision with 10 to go in the context of this game. It's a long way out on this near side. If it's given, it'll be a heck of a conversion, but hey, Stewart, off you go.
Well, they're going right back to the kick to make sure the chasers are onside. I think there's two players that come from the left of the kicker there, both behind. No one else is within 10 metres that come in. It's a clear knock on. So they just play on from there. They've actually got the free play that gives them a bit of freedom to go out the Castleford defence. And it's all about the grounding. That was Ben Taylor's original question. And there's no issue with the grounding there. Feet are off the ground, so he's not in touch. He's in possession. This will be confirmed.
Sensational try again from Charnley. Surely knocking on the door of the England selectors. Wayne Bennett, are you watching down under? Charnley gets his second try of the match. Warrington are still alive. 10 to go, 4 points in it.
Well, that's certainly given hope, and Eddie, the most senior players, the best players in Super League all make mistakes, and the youngster, well, he drops that ball.
Change of kicker here.
Under pressure, well, that's what it means from Eddie.
Bryson Goodwin, left-footed from this side of the field. Maybe the correct decision, we'll see.
He's not got a great record, Eddie.
He's not got a bad record now. He hasn't got a bad record now. 2 points in it. 9.5 minutes to go. A thriller at the Halliwell Jones.
Well, a towering kick, and well done for the youngster for going for that ball. He knew what his job was. As a fullback, he had to jump for that ball under pressure from Stephen Ratchford. But when the ball gets shifted out here and it goes to that man, who's a phenomenal talent, knows how to finish.
And that's an important point to make. His coach, Darryl Powell, will say, I can handle that, I'll back you there. Yeah. You get up, you attempt to catch it. If you miss it, we can handle that, we'll try and recover. It's cost his team 6 points, Phil, not 4.
Yeah, 6, that's right, and they're still 2 behind. But I'll tell you what, he took a knock as well, didn't he? If you remember earlier on, Stephen Ratchford, I mean, he's the one who so often contested so many of the balls that have come down. We're going to have a real contest now inside the last 10.
We are, because Warrington are defending a record that has seen them win their last 8 home games in the Super League and the Challenge Cup. 9 minutes, Castleford have a 2-point advantage. Warrington, the momentum has shifted. The ball is with them, and it's with Roberts from Cooper. Milner is batted away by Tyrone Roberts. And he just stands and waits for them, and Holmes gets to it.
I think the last 9 minutes are going to tell us about the character of this Warrington side. I think the first 71 minutes has told us about the character in this Cass side.
From a neutral's point of view, purely and simply, a draw would be a fair result. I wouldn't like to see Castleford go home empty-handed after this. But there are no neutrals in this ground tonight, on the terraces anyway. And there are very few neutrals watching at home.
No, you're right, Eddie, but everyone loves an underdog, don't they? And the majority of people look forward,
It's picked up. What an effort there. The kick chase from Joe Wardle doesn't allow the time for Tyrone Roberts. He's in the face of the halfback, who throws it forward. Great work from Joe Wardle.
And again, they're little signs that you like to see. Joe Wardle and a number of his teammates have had to play an awful long time in this game.
They are blowing for tugs.
They're out on the feet, but they know the responsibilities. They know the roles and responsibilities, what the KPIs are in this game, and they're doing it.
Penalty. Oh, now then. What do Castleford do here?
Why would you go for 2?
You get 8 minutes. It doesn't look like they're going to, by the way.
What are you doing?
You keep going here.
Shout, I think I heard from Danny Orr as he left the field. Keep going, lads. And that's what they're going to do.
Eddie, get anywhere near the try line, you just knock it over the try line, try and force another set of 6.
So here they come with Millington. What a match from him. Don't forget, man of the match. Vote on the Our League app. The 4 nominees are there for you. Here is Matt Cook. 2 from each side.
2 movement! Yeah, Jack, 2, come on. 2.
He's been good as well, hasn't he, Matt Cook?
Here goes Jesse Senilefeo. Philbin got to him. Oh, he gets the ball away. Milner. Warrington bring him down. 2.5, 3 metres away. Hills all over him. Penalty. Penalty. They'll kick for 2 now, surely, won't they?
I would, Eddie, but I would have kicked the last, or I would have had an attempt at the last one.
Well, now this
what
is
are the
more
players
certain.
doing?
Oh, well, they'll go for it now because they've took another set of 6, took another minute off the clock. They'll go for it, just pulled some big ones in here.
Time off.
And if you think of what
are you doing?
the players have had to do, Eddie.
What are you doing?
Like Mitch Clark's not played big minutes. Will Mayer, I don't think, still been on the field yet.
They're going for 2.
Back on now, Frank.
You didn't trust me, did you?
Well, the players didn't trust themselves either because nobody made the decision. Ben Thaler asked 5 times, what are you doing?
They were waiting for the call from the sideline. And for me, they've wasted a minute. They'll get this.
But they've got a minute now, haven't they, Stuart?
They'll get this 2 points.
Yeah, well, Ben Thaler called time off while they were making the decision, and then there's up to a minute while they're taking the kick.
So from a minute from when he gave the time back off?
It's a minute, yeah, it's a minute from the penalty awarded, so time will have been taken off for them to make the decision.
All right, okay.
Warrington need to start to think about the restart here. They're going to kick it short, they need the right bodies in place, and the pressure's on the kicker to make sure it goes at least 10 metres, but not that far, to give his teammates a chance to get the ball back. Should they think, unless they're going to be very patient and back themselves and kick it long, he's kicked that as far as he can.
He has. It's Adam Milner. It was a quick change of kicker. Callum Turner maybe just feeling a bit shaky. And this fellow knows that they are very close to a famous win. 5.5 minutes. I think he realises all of a sudden he's a TV star.
You know, I think that this Castleford side know what's going to be coming here. The short kick-off.
Ah, he's off the field, that's why.
Might be offside markers.
The short kick-off here. Michael Shenton.
Milner, by the way, let me just get this in. Milner, first goal he's kicked in 201 games. Adam Milner. And they didn't go for the short kick-off. That's a surprise.
Well, it is, Eddie, considering there's just over 5 minutes to go.
Mind you, they're probably searching a mistake now. The game overall, we've had that one little flare-up which involved Adam Milner sin bin. It's been played in remarkable spirit, you know.
Yeah, that's what you find the majority of time, Eddie.
QLT might be going home with the Man of the Match award from his Super League debut at 33.
It's certainly a game he's never going to forget, isn't it?
Oh. A week and night he'll never, ever forget.
Again, I'll say it again. The Warrington ball, Matt, but he's been brilliant.
Turner goes for length, gives it to Ratchford, which is dangerous. We're in the last 5 minutes.
So what's going through the minds of the Cas players? Defend this set, restrict the meters, and let's try and get somewhere near a drop goal.
And certainly don't give away a penalty from here on in.
A clean set of 6.
Charlie was nearly through.
Well, the Wolves need to start thinking about offloads. Single man carries here, might make them meters, but
good win it was. Here goes Clark. Clark gets it wide to Hughes. Hughes further wide to Lynham. And Tom Lynham is pulled down by Alex Foster. Good effort. This is Roberts. Roberts gives it to Ben Murdoch-Masilla. Ben Murdoch-Masilla loses the ball. It's a knock on both ways. That'll do Castleford nicely. A bit more time elapses. 4 points in it, 3.5 to go.
Eddie, they didn't have many options then, Warrington. When Tyrone Roberts gets the ball, he's skirting over on the right. He's looking for someone. There's only Murdoch-Masilla that's anywhere near. The rest of the team were walking over on the left-hand side.
Is that because Kevin Brown's not there? Phil talked about that calming influence, that composed player who maybe might have said in that scenario, get me to the middle of the field and I'll have a go at a drop goal.
Just looking at Warrington, I think they look gassed.
Stay outside, lads.
4 points in it. 76-34 on the clock.
Come on, boys. Come on. I'll tell you what. Wait while the ball's in, fellas.
That's the 4-point drop.
You're right,
here we go.
Everything okay?
That's why they would never let him be captain.
Calm down.
Hey, you said, Eddie, you said it's been played in good spirit.
It has been a
Get your arms round him. Get your arms round him. Adam, get your head in. Get in. Get your head in there.
Right.
Get your head in.
There's a bit of a schmozzle at the scrum.
Look for the push here.
Comes out cleanly. Milner has it.
Eddie, a bit surprised they didn't even go for the push, like they didn't go for the short kickoff. They need possession as quick as possible.
Jesse Seni-Lefeo, that's 2 gone. Warrington will get the ball back. It'll be a last hurrah for them.
Well, they're willing to not concede a penalty. That's the risk, isn't it? Because I know Warrington are desperate to do something. You have to stay within the rules, otherwise you'll descend another set.
That's 4 gone. Inside the last 3 now. Holmes, no hurry. Here is Matt Cook.
Take it to the sideline, kick it off the field, Eddie.
That's what they need to do, and Truman is going to try and do that. And he does it to perfection.
Great kick from Truman. Warrington trying to hurry and form the scrum. Steps up, puts it over the sideline. Cast players walking. Warrington players forming the scrum.
2.5 minutes on the watch. 30 points to Warrington, 34 to Castleford.
If you're going to script your perfect Super League game, this is, I think, how you draw the last 2.5 minutes of the match, wouldn't you?
Sensational.
You'd have the underdog winning with their supporters dreaming of a historic victory. The favourite side at home with a crowd almost with a mute button pressed on at present, but with the possibility of springing to life here with 6 points to win the match. And it would take something very special.
Well, they could go 90 minutes. They have it in them, this team. And here's a fella who can go at 90 metres. But he's not going 90 metres with those 3 around him. Darrell Clark gives it to Patton. Here goes Hughes. Hughes gets it away to Goodwin. Oh, Foster nearly lost it. Minikin got hold of him. And the referee says play the ball. He was held. He shouted held.
All hands on deck here now for Cass.
Time's off with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go.
Well, surely they worked hard for the opening. They worked hard for the opening 78 minutes. 2 more minutes to go.
There's a pigeon. There's a pigeon on the gantry. I can't tell you what it's just done to me. This is Ratchford. It's supposed to be luck, that, isn't it? Here is Hughes. This is Jack Hughes. Oh, dear. It's had everything, this game. This is Darrell Clark. Here is Chris Hill. Now it's Tyrone Roberts. Great tackle by Shenton on deck Patton. They've reached tackle number 5. They're 30 metres away. Roberts will hoist the kick. It's knocked back and straight into the arms of Matt Cook, and off he goes. Matt Cook, and he'll just take the tackle with 1.25 minutes remaining.
Well, they can be as slow as they want when they carry the ball here. They won't want to make mistakes. Some low-risk players, whether they're scooting from dummy half, and Steve Price.
I think he knows.
Well, he's been shocked, Eddie. He's been shocked. He wouldn't have underestimated
penalty
this
to Castleford. 2 points to Castleford. Yeah. Darrell Powell. Where on earth has this come from? They have drawn level on points with Warrington. They have a game in hand as well. The race for the top 4 is joined.
Eddie, he's won some big games, hasn't he, Darrell Powell, over his coaching career. But I think when he looks at this
will be one of the proudest nights of his life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't think there's a better coach in the game than Darrell Powell at getting the best out of the bunch of players that he's involved in. He's obviously done a job during the week. He's done a job during the day. They've had players pull out, they've had injuries.
His team pull out today.
Players pull out today. He's had to reshuffle. He's filled the players full of enough confidence, give him enough instruction to go forward and deliver his side of victory.
And let's not forget his team as well in Ryan Sheridan and Danny Orr.
Brilliant. Milner wrestled to the ground by Patton inside the last 20 seconds here. And 3 tackles gone, and Millington, with all the experience, just takes the tackle from Patton again. 10 seconds and counting Castleford to an incredible victory as Milner goes down. Oh, he's called time off with 2 seconds remaining because I think there's a Warrington player.
I think it's foul play, Eddie. I think Touchwood has got some concern over something Bryson Goodwin's done.
Okay, I know there's a Warrington player. It's Darrell Powell. It's Darrell Clark, I think, who was receiving treatment in back play.
They look shot, Warrington, don't they?
Well, he caught Milner on the side of the head with his knees as he came in. I don't think there's anything malicious in it, to be fair.
No. Well, it looks like he tries to pull his knees out of the way, doesn't it?
Doesn't really matter, though, does it? Because there's only seconds remaining. And there's the final siren. And what a night for the Castleford Tigers. And what a night for Darryl Powell. 6 tries, Warrington scored. 5 tries, the Tigers scored. The goal kicking, first of all, of young Callum Turner, and then the penalty goal from Adam Milner, the difference between the two sides. A night to remember, not for Stephen Price and Warrington, but for all of us watching here, without a care in the world, the neutrals. It was a match to savour and a performance to wonder at from Castleford.
Well, they certainly entertained. They got off to a great start, 12-0 up. And Darryl Powell, whatever he said before the game, or whatever confidence that he instilled in his players, it certainly paid off for them. Quentin Tonga on his debut come up with some key contribution, but I was really impressed with Callum Turner.
Yeah. Then you've got stars all over the field.
I thought he looked a special player along with Jake Truman.
I'm really enjoying Darryl Powell at this moment. Sometimes there's an accusation that he's poker-faced, he doesn't always show his emotions. He can't hide his pride and his joy. This is a special victory for his side. That's a coach that's proud of his men.
And so he should be. They've run their blood to water.
They've been absolutely brilliant. There's players on the... Forgive me here, lads, but Grant Millington's either in 80 minutes.
I think he has.
In the middle, absolutely taking the ball up constantly. Matt Cook has played big minutes, and Darryl Powell would have got his senior players together saying, look, lads, we're down on troops. We've got some inexperienced players. You've got to lead by example. You've got to do the right things. Don't be looking to the sideline to want to come off. You're going to have to go out there and keep going, and they did that.
Well, what a story Castleford Tigers have written for themselves tonight with this victory over the Warrington Wolves on their own ground. And what a night and what a story for the 33-year-old Quentin Tonga guy who wins the Betfred Super League Man of the Match. Angela.
He does. There's your silver salver. And what a performance, what a debut, what a try, and for an old fella as well.
Yeah, I was buzzing, you know, just to play a Super League a game. I was buzzing, I was nervous, but to get out there and perform the way we did, you know, good effort to the boys.
What about going over as well on your debut? There's something quite special in that.
Yeah, get off the nudie run, so that. But good effort from Jesse, who offloaded to me. I was just there to score the try.
And that start as well, 12-0 up after, well, less than 12 minutes. That was a gift really for you. And you really took the energy battle to Warrington then.
Yeah, Powley spoke to us about a good start. We started off well, and then we let some soft tries in, and lucky in the second half, you know, we crawled back.
Start of the season, did you think you'd be standing there with that in your hand and 2 points and enjoying this debut in Super League?
It's been a massive 360, but you know, I'm just buzzing. Cass is a great club, and I'm just happy to be here.
We have a cheque for you. I know that you weren't expecting to be man of the match because you didn't have anything in mind for the charity, but where's it going to go?
I think it's the Prince of Wales Foundation, I think. Yes.
We'll find out. They're all nodding around you as well. Congratulations, Quentin. Thank you. And we've got another debut. Well, we've got Callum Turner with us now. Callum, why you weren't on that list for man of the match, I don't know, but what a fantastic game for you at full-back there.
Yeah, great. Obviously going down to 12 men, we had to get in sin bin. Boys just dug deep, and obviously we'll come away with win. No better than that.
Where did it come from? What was the words of wisdom before the game? How did you speak to each other about before you attacked this game?
Just got to go and get Warrington. They're on form team in league, so just go out, show them no mercy, and just get into them from the start.
They've had a little bit of a problem at full-back this season. I think they've answered that now. I think they've got somebody.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, I got a phone call at 1:30 today saying that I was playing, so a bit of short notice, but yeah, hopefully I've earned my spot.
And as I say, 2 points. To get those 2 points, you're really still within a chance of staying in that top four, and you've got a game in hand as well.
Yeah, it's perfect game in hand. We've just got to keep building on this performance today and take it into next games.
Well, it was great to watch you, Callum. Congratulations on that fantastic performance. And we have your coach now. Well, Darryl, a couple of weeks ago on Sky, you were a man of few words. I imagine you've got a few more now, and most of them will be superlatives.
Well, if we come up with that attitude every week, you don't have to get too grumpy, do you? I thought whether we'd have won or lost tonight, at the end there, I wouldn't have been bothered too much. Obviously, you want to win, but I just thought our commitment and desire to work for each other tonight was phenomenal. We started really well, and then, you know, when the guy you've just been talking to, Callum, he hadn't trained with us this week. He only came in this morning. He hadn't even seen a preview, so from that perspective, I was delighted for him. Few players, Q obviously coming in. Thought Mitch Clark was great, and there were some real tough efforts out there. I thought for us, a real line in the sand, a marker down for us is this is how we play.
That's it. Quentin we've talked about, Callum we've talked about, Grant Millington as well. What a great game he had, and on for long minutes as well.
Yeah, he had a really strong game. Yeah, I think his last two games have been outstanding. I thought Joe Wardle and Adam Milner today, and Ollie Holmes came into the middle and did a great job. But I think to a man, just thought it was a really tough, determined effort from us under some real tough circumstances. We lost two players during the day today, and I was laid on my bed thinking, right, here we go, what we're going to do here. So no, I'm delighted with that. It's a great performance from us.
It shows a bit of courage and a bit of character as well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I thought our character was fantastic.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your time, Daryl. We've got Steve Price with us now. Steve, you talked about energy levels in the first half, and now they let you down a little bit. You got a bit more in the second half, but could you match Castleford for theirs?
Full credit. I thought they were the way better team tonight. They were far superior in their energy levels. I thought their intent, defensively, I thought they'd done a really good job on us when we were carrying the ball, and things what we've been doing really good over the last couple of weeks, we weren't so good tonight. So fair bit of work to do.
You didn't say at any point that you were going to be an easy ride today, even though they did have lots of injuries. You knew that they were going to throw everything at you, and they did.
Yeah, they're a good football team, Cass. They're well coached, and they've still got a lot of good plays there. And yeah, we had an off night tonight, which was disappointing because I was really up for, and the challenge was to back up that really strong performance what we done against Wigan last week, and yeah, we weren't there tonight.
That slow start, 12-0 down. You're climbing, then you're chasing.
Yeah, we done well. I think we scored 20 points within 12 minutes. So, we can score quick tries in succession, but yeah, just all our little effort areas and things what, we mark ourselves on really hard as a football team, wasn't there tonight.
Thanks for talking to us, Steve.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, Steve Price will be left to ponder on what may have been, but they came up against, I would argue, one of the greatest performances of the Castleford Tigers under Daryl Powell. Under strength, away to the Warrington Wolves, and they have come up with a massive 34 points to 30 win. 2 competition points in the Betfred Super League. We'll have a look at the table later, but first, we go to the table. Oh, stats, sorry, I beg your pardon. From the game, and what jumps out, missed tackles, 23 Warrington, 20 Castleford. They're pretty even in a lot of the stats. The 80% completion rate, though, of the Castleford Tigers and just 69% for Warrington will no doubt be something that Stephen Price highlights with his side. All right, we can go to a man I left at half-time with the scores locked up at 20 points apiece. And he's witnessed a remarkable Castleford Tigers victory. John, what is your game breaker?
Well, the game breaker is a combination, I think, of being able to react and being able to put things behind you, not focusing too much on the players that are sitting on the sidelines, but the players who are actually going to take the field and give the opportunity to. We'll have a look at the tries first. Josh Charnley, he retook the lead for the Warrington Wolves on the 53rd minute before Quentin Lalu Tongagai announced himself on the Super League stage. Some nice interplay here. Michael Shenton's put back on the inside by Joe Waddle, skirts the line, something he does very well. Finds Jesse Seni-Lefeo, I think his best game in a Castleford shirt this year. And then Lalu Tongagai across, and then followed up by 4 minutes later with a beautiful assist. Step off the right, straighten up, and an offload for Oliver Holmes. Josh Charnley, he's able to get his second of the evening, an amazing try-scoring record he's had after a steepling bomb from Tyrone Roberts, put down from Callum Turner, arguably his only blot on his copybook, and what's been an excellent second start for him. Of course, that took the points, took Warrington to within 2 points. Adam Milner slotting a penalty over, 30 points to 34. Massive win for the Castleford Tigers, great performances. Excuse me, I thought Adam Milner was immense throughout. I thought he was massive, despite the 10 minutes in the sin bin. But the game breaker for me, a man who makes his Super League debut at the age of 33 and left an awful lot of people wondering, first of all, why, and second of all, what could he offer? Well, I think he answered you, didn't he, by what he did on the field. So this was the spread play that they were talking about, right to left. When it comes to this point, I think it's a smart piece of play from Joe Wardle. He skirts the line and brings Shenton back on the inside. Now, this is what Shenton's particularly good at. And key with him, ball in two hands. That's excellent work from him. Picks out a man who's prepared to run for him, Sonny Lefeo. But I'll take that back for you just a second. It's worth having a look at this because he's a half-back this evening, but this is a full-back's poacher's nose. So he's seen Jesse Lefeo straighten up, go into this gap, and he's decided, where can I put myself that's going to make myself the greatest threat? It's around the outside. And that's what you get from him. Just a reactive, instinctive player, and goes over and underlines his debut, and a great debut with a try as well, followed up 4 minutes later with a beautiful step off the right foot and an offload for Oliver Holmes. So massive, massive performances by the Castleford Tigers side. Callum Turner's announced himself to the world of Super League. Jesse Sonny Lefeo, the best game in Super League for him this season. Grant Millington, massive. Adam Milner, massive. Quentin Lalutonga, guys, my game breaker.
You can start grinning now, John. Congratulations to Castleford Tigers. A wonderful performance. Brilliant 2 points. They are still playing over at Leeds. There was a long delay. Full-time whistle has just gone. 25 points to 18 victory for Huddersfield. There was a long delay in that game because of a head injury to Mikolaj Oledzki, and it has just been blown up at the Totally Wicked Stadium as well. St Helens have won 26 points to 4 against Hull Kingston Rovers after leading 18-0 at half-time. Hull FC, they had a big half-time lead, 37-0 against Salford. Salford hit back with 3 tries in the second half. 45-14 to FC in the end. OK, we will see tries from the rest of those games in Super League extra time. That will be coming up in a little while. But first, let's reflect on what was a momentous victory for the Castleford Tigers. We have to contextualise it, Phil, by referencing the absentees briefly. But let's focus now, having said that, on the performance of Darryl Powell's side. He said commitment, desire was phenomenal. He picked out Callum Turner, hadn't trained with the side, hadn't seen the preview. Remarkable result, remarkable achievement.
Well, I think it can be an advantage if you bring in new players, fresh ones, young ones. If they have enough confidence and belief, and they've been in a system and coached with enough encouragement there to bring the best out of them, and that's what Castleford appear to have. I think that's an evolution, a step forward as a club, that now they can bring in young players who we've never heard of before. They can not only play at this level, but actually win games at this level, and that's a massive step forward for that club, who, you know, years ago were on the verge of bankruptcy, not that long ago. They've built strong enough foundations to have quality young players who can help them to win at the highest level.
I think what they needed to probably show themselves was that 2018 had got going. I mean, position-wise, they weren't too far off anybody on the table, like doing well. Performances, though, have been a little bit patchy. I think Darryl Powell's hinting that that is now the minimum standards they must achieve.
Well, they have been below par for the first half of the season, but we're at the halfway point here now, and if they can kick on from here for the second half of the season and play at that level of that intensity, and also play with that level of entertainment, some of the tries they scored were back to vintage Castleford tries under Darryl Powell that we've seen for several years. But they've not only scored the tries, the defence, I know they conceded lots of points at times. Some of their defence was brutal. Absolutely brutal, because Warrington were running hard and throwing everything at them.
It's important to ask you this next question, because it will be suggested that Warrington's cup victory over Wigan took some juice out of them. People will point to Wigan losing last night to Wakefield. To counter that, you'd look at Hull FC winning well against Salford, and you'd St Helens dispatching with Hull Kingston Rovers 20 points to 4. Any merit in that argument that Warrington may have been fatigued?
Maybe mentally more than physically, possibly. So
why?
I just think that they built themselves up so much. Maybe they weren't expecting to beat Wigan in the cup. I'm not sure. And whatever hangover and